Hello there. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to A Certain Point of View here on a fabulous Monday evening. It's Guys Night, and we don't want it to be Guys Night because it's very exciting stuff in the world of our one true love here on POV, and that's Star Wars.
Clearly, the girls don't care about Star Wars.
They just don't care. We're truly the committed ones. One is off gallivanting in Europe, doing whatever she may be doing right now, staying up.
Yeah, what is she even doing at this point? I don't even know.
It's ridiculous. And then the other one, she's just she's carrying the weight of her life on her back, and she broke her back.
She's laying in bed.
She didn't physically break her back, but she broke her back.
Yeah.
But we're here. Look, we're here. We're excited. Tons of stuff to talk about. And one thing I can confidently say, that has nothing to do with Star Wars, a new intro to the channel has been created, everybody.
Thank God. I just saw myself again.
It has been created, but it's not being dropped until the four of us are on a show together because it's been 2 damn weeks already. Yeah. I'm itching to drop this new intro for everybody, particularly Brian. But the girls just keep disappearing, and here we are. So old intro until the four of us get back on a show together.
So basically, the girls are continuing to put out.
I think they're doing it on purpose.
My fat photos.
I think it's a sign, Brian. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's a sign. I think it's just a slight hint from them. Yeah,
they want to see me miserable. That's what
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But how are you doing today, sir?
I'm good. I mean, how can I not be when my most favoritist person is now coming to live action, only to die? But yeah, good. I don't know about you, but I'm clearly not ready for summer. Like,
why are you burning up?
The last 2 days, it's been hot, and I'm like,
I love it. This is the first. I think it's the first time I've worn a t-shirt on the show in months, because for everyone who's watching or listening who may not know, and I don't know why you've heard about it, but my studio is in the garage, so there's no insulation. And there's a vent right there. So during the winter months, it's freezing out here, but I'm wearing a t-shirt today. So there we go.
I've this weekend put on shorts instead of sweatpants for the first time, and I was like, yep.
I ordered 4 new pairs of shorts today for the winter.
From Lulu.
Yeah.
So, okay.
The wife is hooking me up.
Okay. Here's the thing.
She's probably watching, so say hi.
I'm done with you besmirching her, saying that she's the one ordering all these Lululemon's packages constantly coming through, when you just said, oh, I just ordered 4 new pairs of shorts.
It's all for golf. It's all for a good reason.
Which you did this weekend.
I did twice this weekend.
I know. Tried to say last week, no, I'm not doing golf. Yeah, right. You're not going down there and not golfing. Get out of here.
I don't need to tell everybody my life. They can see it.
We know how you operate in golf. Not going to go what, Pismo? Is that where you went?
Well, it's San Luis Obispo Pismo, yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, it's clear what we're talking about tonight, everybody. We have a lot to discuss. We're talking about Star Trek. Just we're journeying through space with the Enterprise. No, look, Star Wars Celebration happened. It came, it went, it conquered. It left us with so much to discuss. From the day that it started, which for us here on the West Coast was officially when it all happened, 4 a.m. But we obviously woke up to all the news. So, Brian, I don't know about you, but
it was kind of fun waking up to
it was. So what was funny about it is I kind of forgot that it was happening because of the time change. Like,
that's fair.
I didn't go to, I knew I went to bed. I was like, oh yeah, Star Wars Celebration. But I woke up and I was like, okay, like just a normal day, because we were leaving that morning. We were driving, and I woke up just kind of get ready and everything. And I scrolled through my phone, and on my Twitter feed, it said, Daisy Ridley returning to Star Wars. And I was like, I yelled. It was probably like 6:30 in the morning. And Gabby can probably back me up. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, in my mind, I sat there for maybe 20 minutes scrolling to look. And then I saw the Ahsoka trailer. And then I saw the Indiana Jones trailer. And like I'm telling you, my weekend, I had the greatest weekend of my life. because I played golf twice and all the Star Wars news that dropped. It was absolutely magical. And yeah, we got your little blue baby boy, whatever, but it was absolutely fantastic. And yeah, I mean, I didn't stay up for anything. I know a lot of people did. I just couldn't on my end. It wasn't physically possible. So yeah, you're right. It kind of was like fun waking up knowing that like, okay, what am I going to wake up to the next day? Like what's coming my way, you know?
Or what is Molly going to tell us just happened?
Yeah, like what text or what messages are we going to wake up to from her being like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, it's...
Are you going to do that the whole show? Like, what's the point?
I have no control over what he wants to do.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it was definitely fun. FOMO was real for sure. But like at the same time, like it sounded like it was nuts. Like Molly didn't stop the whole. Like she would text us at 1 o'clock in the morning, like our time, and like what is the conversion? 8 hours?
They're 8 hours ahead.
Okay, so like we were like,
she told us at least twice that she stayed up until 4 a.m. Yeah. which is 8 p.m. here on the West Coast.
Yeah, like, we were just like, we would be talking, and then we're like, wait a minute, what time is it there? And it's just 1.
And then they have to be back up at like 7 or 8 to work, and they're still pumping out video. It's just
no thanks. I really had, I think the most FOMO from Chase's Star Wars meetup. That just seemed
I still die from the video of Chase and Alex dancing.
That's why I'm saying the FOMO on that one was real.
Unbelievable. All right, look, we're not going to waste any more time. We do have a lot to get to. What we're going to do is, if you guys have questions, comments, anything that you guys want to put in the chat, I will star them. We will get to them. It's not going to be an exact order, but we are going to start with the Ahsoka stuff because it's at this moment it kind of is the biggest, and then we'll move into the Rey stuff, being that can kind of shift its way into being the second biggest and maybe most exciting for a lot of people. But let's talk about this Ahsoka trailer. So, you know, we had this celebration teaser from last year that was leaked all over the place. We've gotten photos and information and stuff like that, but the doors have been opened. The blast doors have been shot right open. We now know everything, at least to this point, everything of like information as far as cast, characters, timeline, etc. from this first trailer. There's still many questions, still a lot of mystery around the project. As far
as anything, we have more questions.
More questions, yes. But we did get quite a bit of answers as far as just things that we were hoping to see get, especially the Thrawn stuff, obviously. Before we get into details, though, let's just talk about initial reactions. Brian, just, a couple sentences here, quick thoughts on that Ahsoka trailer.
That it's honestly one of the best trailers I've seen in a very long time. Like, I would put that, God, I don't even know. Like, there are certain trailers I remember seeing for the first time that like have stuck with me forever. Probably Endgame, probably Infinity War,
Force Awakens,
Black Panther, Force Awakens.
Yeah.
This
Road.
No.
Tron.
I don't even remember that trailer, to be
Tron Legacy.
I will probably. I've watched that trailer at least.
You should see my YouTube history. It's
20 to 30. I'm showing it to the kids at the work, and they're like, "We've already seen this. You've shown us it." Or I'm like, "I don't care. Just shut up and watch it."
Yeah. So
it's
just
amazing.
To kind of pick off where you were saying, because I don't want to lose my train of thought when you're saying this. I'm not afraid to say that this is the most excited I've been about Star Wars since The Force Awakens.
I mean, you said that every single progression, but yes, I agree.
And I'm also not afraid to say that I think this is the second best trailer behind the original Force Awakens trailer. And look, it may come down to like a biased opinion. Everyone here knows how much I love the character of Ahsoka. Like, I get it. But I'm also a massive, massive Rebels fan. And I don't remember feeling this way about Star Wars in a very, very long time. Like, very long time.
Yeah. My friends that are more casual text me and went, holy shit, that looks amazing. And I don't even know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're like, they have no idea. And they were like, is that a movie? And I'm like, no, that's a TV show. And they're like,
8 episodes, baby.
yeah. Which I love how Filoni says 8 episodes and they're going to be about the same length as Mandalorian. Excuse me, sir. There's about 19 different lengths of Mandalorian episodes.
I'm anywhere between 30 and 40 minutes is what I'm.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I knew it was going to be massive when you just see just the scale of these things you're seeing. Like, I mean, I don't have words for it.
It's familiar. That. Like it's very familiar, but it's also extremely new.
Yeah.
Like it has this very unique, not just like tone and feel to it, but also it almost has a very unique look to it. Because it really is in so many different places around the galaxy, right? And places that we're very familiar with, but also places that we've never seen before. I will say this right off the bat: it's visually stunning as far as it's like it is absurdly good to look at.
Yeah.
And I'm not just talking about like the lightsabers and like blasters and stuff. Like just a camera sitting, like the opening shot of Ahsoka with the pillars and everything is gorgeous. Like the landscape shots.
Yeah. I'm obsessed with the shot of the evil Padawan busting into the bridge and the girl shooting and then her
deflecting the shots. Yes. She looks incredible. Like, it's not just that, but it's the way that she's moving the saber.
Yes.
Specifically, it's how she's like whatever fight style she's using. It doesn't look like something we've seen before.
It is arguably the most like aggressively violent like I've seen someone come at someone like in a while. Like,
well, and it's not to this extent, but the closest like violent I can get to is someone like Kylo Ren, like in his heyday. Like as far as Kylo,
even he though was kind of like it reminded me of like a Viking like type like axe swinging type of.
You say that word, I get excited, bro.
I know she is just like moving all over the place, and it's just like oh my god, like
I agree, dude.
If someone's coming at me like that, like you kind of like just are like you panic because they're just so.
I like that word that Frank used, unrefined.
Unrefined, yeah.
I love that word. I like it's obviously we're I don't know how much time we're going to spend on like theorizing about her because that could take up a whole hour theorizing at the entire like stuff that we saw. But when it comes to her, there's a lot of theories that were they from the Clone Wars? Did they get trapped in the world between worlds? Did they use it as time travel, etc., etc.? I know that we're obviously seeing like the Padawan braid and stuff. Like, did she get her full training? We can get into all that, sure. It would be a lot more fun if the girls were here and they didn't ditch us. But it happens.
I know.
But look, as far as like a trailer and what the show looks like, it looks incredibly like immersive. Like you're going to be locked in because there's so many different characters and we know what the story is. It's Ahsoka, Sabine, Hera versus Thrawn and what he's building.
I'm shocked you haven't brought up Hera until now.
Oh, trust me, we're getting to her. Don't worry about it. We're getting to her. It like when it comes to the Mandalorian, right? We kind of know small basics of okay, the Darksaber's involved. It's about Mandalore. We have the armorer, sure, but like, what is the ultimate goal of what's going on? We know what Ahsoka's about. Like, we know the goal.
Yeah.
And even in Andor, we were kind of like in a mysterious way, like not really understanding like what was happening. It was Andor was about
a larger scale was going towards.
Yeah, like it was about Cassian joining the rebellion. But Ahsoka, like we know who they're fighting, what they're up against. There's of course things that we don't know, but we know all of the players involved. And so we're looking at it and now we're breaking it down from what we've seen, and we're just like, is this going to be the greatest Star Wars television show ever told? Like, I think it has a high possibility of being the greatest Star Wars TV show that we've seen to this date. And this includes animation. I know that there's Rebels hardcores, Clone Wars hardcores, and I'm one of them. But there's a chance that because this comes from that era.
Yeah.
Like, this is Clone Wars and Rebels in the future in live action.
I loved Obi-Wan Kenobi, but I feel like this is going to shit all over it. Like, it's going to...
I agree with you.
Like, where you're just like, holy crap.
Well, and there's a big reason why is because Dave Filoni knows Ahsoka in and out. He knows Sabine
all these
in and out.
Yeah.
He knows them all in and out. And it just like, it gives me comfort knowing that he's in charge.
Yeah.
Because there's no way Dave Filoni's going to F up Ahsoka. There's no way. There's like, he has put what feels like his entire life up against the bank for Ahsoka. Like, he's banked himself up against that character, telling her story, and so far so good, and this could be so far so great. It just, man, but let's talk about Hera. Let's talk about my girl. Let's talk about my girl, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, because
I know,
bro, we only saw like 2 or 3 shots of her, but my God, did we see 2 or 3 shots of her? I love the first shot that we saw of her. It's the left side vision of her piloting the Phantom, which seeing the Phantom in live, so hyped when I first saw that in live action. But it's a very Rebels shot. If you go back and watch Rebels, there's tons of shots of her flying from that angle. And so I love that they're just implementing those types of like Easter eggs into the show with these characters. They know who they're aimed at. They know who is watching this show. And it's something that it's like the good fan service, right? You're doing it for the people who are going to know, but it doesn't affect those people who don't know.
I honestly think that this is kind of in a way just like I don't want to say a middle finger to the people that didn't watch Rebels, but it's like it almost kind of seems like they're not going to like pander to those people. They're like, we're going to tell the Rebels story. So either you better go watch it or we're just going to keep moving. And I'm totally fine with that. Cause I told my friends and my casual friends, as Sean said, I was like, you guys need to watch Rebels. Cause it's like, it's not a matter of like,
I did it to you.
I found Rebels on my own.
You're a terrible liar.
I will give you Clone Wars, but not
Ryan. You're a terrible liar. You did not find Rebels on your own. You're gonna sit there and tell me right now that we were not living together and you were not willing to give Star Wars animation a chance until I threw it in front of your face.
Clone Wars, yeah.
You were such a shit liar.
I think Rebels.
You are terrible. That's fine. Move along.
I genuinely think
move along.
I don't know. But either way, like I was like begging them, like, please watch Rebels, because you're just not gonna you're gonna understand what's going on, but like this is just gonna be, it'll be the greatest thing you've ever seen. And of course they're stubborn. They're like, no, we don't want to watch animation. But it's just like, God, if you watch those 75 episodes of Rebels, which is a lot, not compared to Clone Wars, but if you watch those, this show is just going to be like, I don't even know like how you describe it. Like, it's just, the payoff is just going to be so
emotional.
Yes. Like, I mean, I still
lose it. I'm going to lose it.
I mean, I still have the picture of when we watched the finale.
The video of me? Yeah.
I don't have the Rebels or the video. I have the picture.
When Ahsoka the White popped up?
Yeah. Ahsoka the Great.
I was going to say Gandalf Ahsoka, but that doesn't make sense. I like Ahsoka the White. It's a good name.
Ahsoka.
Let's talk about that real quick, Brian, because this is a hot topic in Star Wars. While you bring that up, and chat, we'd love to hear from you guys. There's a big conversation going on about timeline. where the show takes place, how it takes place, if there's multiple timelines going on. Now, leaving the world between worlds aspect out of it, because that's going to be a big part of this show. Excuse me. The logo itself is the world between worlds. So if you don't think that the world between worlds is not going to be in the show,
100%.
I just,
What are you doing?
Think twice about that. Yeah, that's when Ahsoka the White popped up. I was losing it.
When she popped up,
yeah.
Jake was
and then I think I then stood up and like was pacing back and forth between the room. But let's talk about timeline. So
I was Kylo asleep while we were freaking out. On 2 pillows.
Sean, that's not the timeline I'm talking about. You just snarky SOB. Brian, when do you think this show takes place? Because so everyone's kind of expecting it to have the payoff of the finale in Rebels, right? Ahsoka shows up, they go for searching for Ezra and Thrawn, her and Sabine, they kind of do their thing. I've always kind of been, and ever since, and this has only been since we've seen her in The Mandalorian. I think that this all takes place after the first attempt of trying to find Ezra.
Oh, say it.
I think there's a high possibility that they don't even think Ezra's alive anymore. Because they weren't able to find him.
I don't know if it's so much alive anymore, but it's more so like we've exhausted all options and we don't know what to do anymore. Like it's
because it takes place roughly between like the 5 and 8 years after we see them at Rebels.
So I think it's just kind of like it's the only way I can think of it in real life. It's like someone gets kidnapped and your family searches and searches and searches for years and years and years. But at some point you just kind of like almost just accept that the person's gone. Mm-hmm. And I think that's kind of probably where this will pick up, is they've gotten to the point where it's just like, this person's gone. Like we have nowhere else to look, no leads, no nothing. So it's like, we can't just keep spending our lives searching random nowhere places. Mm-hmm. And then she gets a tip that Thrawn's back, and it's like, well, wait, if Thrawn's back, then why isn't Ezra? And then it kind of spirals.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think there's a chance that we could see like maybe a flashback or a moment of something that's close to the Rebels timeline at the end of the show. But I think the majority of the show definitely takes place afterwards. And we have that line from Sabine in the trailer. And of course, lines, can't really read too much into it in the trailer, but she says, "Oh, it's been a long time." You know? So yeah, I think we're both on the same page there as far as where it kind of lands. It seems like it takes place not just after the Rebel stuff, but after everything Mandalorian, which would make sense. I mean, Sabine.
Oh, Mandalorian's already been going.
Sabine, from what we see, is she hasn't been rocking her Mandalorian armor because she's been doing the Lothal thing.
Yeah.
Which is what Ezra asked of her. So I'm very excited because we're not gonna like right away see Ahsoka and Sabine first frame kicking ass together doing their thing. We're gonna be able to see these characters come back together, which is gonna make it even more emotional for people who watched Rebels. Knowing that they've been distant, Hera's been doing her thing. Sabine's been doing her thing. Ahsoka's been doing her thing. And the three of them come back together. But Brian, can we just talk about this with these three characters, these three women? Rosario Dawson, Natasha Bordizzo, and Mary Elizabeth Winstead. What a power trio, bro. Power trio. And they all look great. Hera looks fantastic. Fantastic.
So it's funny. Hera, I completely agree. Hera, what they did, it's top tier. Like, I don't think, I would be hard pressed to think that it can get better than that, honestly. It's weird seeing not in a negative way. Mary Elizabeth Winstead, do it. Winstead, Mrs. Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Get it right, Brian.
I don't even know which one it is. Winstead.
I believe it's Winstead.
Um,
I'm gonna be real upset if it's actually Winstead.
I personally always imagined her being played by a person of color, but I don't. I mean, I don't have control over it. But as far as like looks, it's spot on.
So
like,
it's funny. We always have this conversation with characters being brought to live action about height, right? Like the biggest one has always been Wolverine. Oh, Hugh Jackman's just too tall for this character.
Yeah.
I love that Hera in live action is taller than her animated character because it creates a
presence.
An not intimidating is not the right word because she's intimidating because she's a general, but like I'll just use it. I'll just use it for the lack of a better word right now. An intimidating presence with people around her. Like she's the person you go to. Like she's the boss. She has the answers. She has the calls. She makes the decisions. Like there's that shot of her standing in front, and then she has the two people around her.
I'm shocked you don't have photos just so you could look at it ready to go.
I had them on my laptop, but I'm on my Mac, so I didn't bring them up. But it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. I love how tall she looks. Demanding presence, Gio. Thank you. That's a great word. Thank you so much. I love how tall she is. I do. And some people may not like it. You know, some people are like stuck in their grandmother's basement yelling about actual facts of characters translating to live action. You know, you do you. You do you.
You do you,
but it's not that big of a deal at the end of the day. And I think her being taller is perfect. I love the height. Obviously, Mary Elizabeth Winstead is a little bit taller in real life compared to other women. Totally makes sense. But I always imagine Hera as a little bit of a taller presence, and I love the fact that they gave that to her. They're nailing this so much. They're nailing this so much. It's ridiculous. Like, and of course, it's just a trailer. I get it, but yeah, like she's tall. Like in Rebels, she's probably the height of the gentleman to the left of her. She's probably the height of him in animation.
God, she looks so good.
I just love the height. Like, I don't know why I'm hooked on it, but I am. I'm so happy that they're not like trying to make her shorter to fit the animation. Just let her be the character. She's gonna kill it as the character.
I mean, for me, Wolverine is the perfect example. I've never really cared if
should you?
Yeah, like if she was a tall or short actor. Like I'm like, whatever. As long as the person that's playing Wolverine is dope.
Yeah.
Like I don't care.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Brian. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. So it's just kind of like the last thing I'm gonna be sitting there worried about is how tall a person is. Also, to be honest, this was my favorite one.
That's the shot I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
That's the shot because they did a lot of those shots in Rebels.
Yeah.
They did side profile shots of her flying or other characters flying. It's a very Rebels-esque type of shot.
Yeah.
And only people who watch Rebels would obviously know that. But yeah, I love it.
It's literally taken from Rebels.
Yes.
Like that's literally.
Yes.
How many times have we seen Hera in Rebels trying to avoid
that and the green eyes?
Yeah.
The super harsh green eyes, which is what Hera has.
Yeah.
She has very, very vibrant green eyes, and they gave that to her. So I love that.
Can we talk about how... Sorry, finish what you were on.
No, you're fine. You're fine. We can move on.
I was just going to say, Chopper looks incredible.
Chopper looks so realistic, which he is, obviously. I know he's a realistic droid, but he looks great. He looks great.
Blown away with how... And I hope he murders people. Like, I need murder Chopper. Like, I would love to do a murder count rewatch Rebels and just tally how many people he's killed, because we all know he's number one. But yeah,
we're not paying attention to his comments anymore.
Who, Sean?
Yeah, he's just being a snarky SOB today.
That's fine.
Brian, we can't spend too much time on Ahsoka, but I just want to slightly touch on the baddies. We got to talk about the baddies. We got to talk about your boy. We haven't talked about him yet. Take the floor for a little bit. Thoughts on our boy Thrawn, who is officially being played by Mr. Lars Mikkelsen.
Perfect.
Yes.
I didn't want anyone else, personally.
I agree.
Why
does there need to be anybody else?
No, there doesn't need to be anyone else. He's got his face is arguably like the closest I've ever seen anyone's to like that chiss where it's like chiseled in, and that it's like natural too. His voice was perfect for Thrawn.
Oh my God. See, that voice in live action is going to be menacing.
Don't even
all of my social media obviously is like filled with clips of Rebels now that it's like announced that he's, Thrawn, etc. So now it's all I'm seeing, and I'm just being taken back to like how sophisticatedly intelligent the voice is, but also like
that
you're stupid, I'm better than you, get out of here. Like
that voice is going to command presence.
It's gonna be so good.
It's oh God, I cannot wait.
Gordon, he's Mad's brother.
Yes, there's like 100 of them. Just like there's 100.
He's Mad's. I think he's Mad's older brother, if I'm not mistaken.
There's 100 Mickelsons and 100 Skarsgårds.
That's true.
But I swear to God, there's always a new one popping.
But we only have one Skarsgård in Star Wars.
Yes. I can't wait for Thrawn, even though.
Brian, just relax. He's gonna make it out of the series. He's gonna make it into at least the movie.
I know.
He's gonna at least make it into the movie, so you're fine.
I was like totally like, okay, maybe he'll eventually make it out of it. And then when Ahsoka goes, heir to the Empire, I went, damn it.
Which that line,
damn it.
That line, I was sprinting through my house when they dropped that line in the trailer. So that's my all-time favorite Star Wars series.
So okay,
the Heir to the Empire series.
Here's the thing.
Don't read it before the series, Brian. Don't read it before the series.
I have never read them.
No.
Because of the fact that I didn't want it to be made into live action and then me like that one better.
No, I don't think that's going to be the case, because this is going to be they're very different characters, but also extremely similar. They adapted the character for canon as close as they could to the legend stuff, like almost to the T, but they had to change it because of like timeline and where they placed him, and now what he's gone through here. There's certain decision making, but as far as like the core of the character, it's identical.
Yeah, I just like I really want to
do it. Read it after Ahsoka.
I know.
Read it after Ahsoka, because there's 3 of them.
Well, no, I'm gonna read it after this whole thing is done.
Oh, then you got some.
I know I've got a long time to wait. But
I think I actually have the books somewhere.
But yeah, I cannot.
It's gonna be interesting, that line. So that line, like that was like the final nail in the coffin. I'm like, oh my God, they're doing it. Like they're doing it.
Yeah.
They're not going to obviously adapt Heir to the Empire because of certain circumstances that are going on. You can't adapt that in certain circumstances just because of the certain place that we're at with the certain characters and kind of how the story is being told, which is fine. But I definitely think they're taking bits and pieces from what they're
100%.
And I think there's going to be a lot more similarities than we probably think there's going to be. Doesn't necessarily mean that's going to be the same exact outcome.
He's gonna live, and he's gonna.
No, he's not gonna live, Brian. He's gonna die a terrible death.
He's
gonna die very bad, but he's not gonna die for a while. He's not gonna die for a while, so you're okay.
I was having an argument with Zach Burkett today that he's not a bad guy.
Oh no, he gonna be bad. He gonna be real bad. This is gonna be a much more darker, villainous Thrawn than we saw him in Rebels.
If I ever find out that someone gets to like walk around Disneyland as him, I will immediately be running.
Oh, I'm sure we'll see a Thrawn on Disney for sure. For sure.
This is stressing me out.
So anyway, outside of Thrawn, Lars Mikkelsen looks fantastic, sounds fantastic. We've heard the voice before. I cannot wait to see him in just full HD form out right in front of our eyes. But let's talk about the two baddies, which there's a lot of theories revolving around these characters, and we're gonna have to move on here in a second because there's a lot to get to. But very, very intriguing characters here. A lot of mystery around who they are, where they come from, what they're doing, if they're working for Thrawn or have ulterior motives. Either way,
think they're working for Thrawn? I don't.
I'm like 50-50 right now, if I'm being honest, because part of me, the 50% that says no, they're not, is the Mandalorian side, where almost every villain we meet has no connection to the other villains. Like, it feels like every villain we meet in Mandalorian, they're just another villain that Din and company has to defeat. But the other 50% of me is like, well, if this is very Rebels-esque, for the most part, most of the big villains they ran into were working for the same cause. A la the second season, all the Inquisitors working for Vader, then Vader was the final villain, etc. Right? Or Thrawn and all his little Imperial minions, etc. So I really am kind of split down the middle. I don't know because of the world between worlds aspect, but I'm very curious if Thrawn has access to the world between worlds. Like, that is what I'm curious about.
I think he's getting close.
That's what I think is getting and that's what makes me wonder if he is working with them. Because why would, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'm just 50-50. Like, I really am. This is kind of the one thing that I'm crossed about the most right now, is if they're working together. So I don't know. I'm curious on how that plays out. Either way, like, if it's two villain groups, one, they both look incredible, absolutely incredible. And I think the look of them, I love it. I think it's such a
Balin looks incredible.
He looks at, like, Ray Stevenson has always played supporting actors who, like, never really get, like, the main spotlight. He's always been an incredible character actor. He played Punisher in Punisher Warzone. I get it, but he was a Warriors 3 for Thor, but he's never really been able to, like, hold on to a role that has a, like, big part, like, just meaty role. And now he gets to dive in and face it. Like, that scene of him and Ahsoka in the world between worlds is going to be epic.
Yeah.
Epic. I cannot wait to see him hold a lightsaber and wield it. And, like, it's going to be incredible. I'm so hyped to see him be a main role in this show, whether or not he's working for Thrawn. I think he's going to bring a really cool presence to this story.
I don't know.
Oh, that's right. He was in Black Sails, Andy. Thank you. That's right.
Yeah. Him, Balin, Shin, the lady.
Mm-hmm.
They just look intimidating. Like, they look like they have one goal and ain't nothing getting in their way.
Yeah.
And I can't wait for this show.
You can't wait for this show.
Yeah. I mean, I've been waiting for God knows how long for Thrawn to come to live action. And it's like, holy crap. Like,
yeah,
it's actually happening.
Yeah,
like,
I feel you.
it's yeah. I mean, you know how many times I've had to like explain who your favorite character is, and it's just like, although I am gonna miss being like one of those weirdos outlier people that only knows who he is and that's their favorite character, because I already know people are gonna immediately start liking him again.
I'm still holding on to it, to one of those.
This photo.
Yeah.
And his hilt. He looks like a knight, like a legit.
Oh, Brian, there's
Like,
theories.
oh, I know.
There's theories.
It's just
The wolves.
yeah.
Yeah, that would take another hour. But yup.
We should have just done just so.
Maybe we'll do a little trailer.
Well, we have to talk about this again with Molly.
So. Yeah, I think next Monday we'll probably just do a full Ahsoka show.
Yeah, being
honest. Because Jill, I know Jill wants to talk about it as well. So
she lost her chance.
There's a lot of stuff that we can dive into as far as theories with them specifically and like historical references and stuff, which can get very exciting. But we'll save that for another day. So a couple questions before we move on, though. I want to bring this up. Gio here. Thank you, Gio, for the question. What about the Inquisitor character? Barrius? No, not Barrius. At least I hope Barrius. I hope not.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think it's going to be a man.
I think so, too. I saw some dopo online theorizing that was Ezra. And Brian, please don't think you believe.
We have a patron. I'm not going to say who, but there's one of our patrons that thinks.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. No, this was on TikTok. I saw someone on TikTok saying this.
I was talking to a patron of POV,
I know,
and they said that
because that negates everything. That like the whole point of like, no. Let's hope not. I don't want it to be Ezra.
It would be wild if all of a sudden his mask falls off and it's him and you're just like, wait, what?
That'd be a Winter Soldier moment for sure. All right, Christopher Glaze here. Considering Zeb was recently a Mando, do you think he'll show up in Ahsoka? Maybe Callus too. He'll 100% be in Ahsoka.
He'll 100% be in Ahsoka. Callus, I
don't know where Callus would be.
I really, 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 really want him to.
It would just be a different actor.
I just don't think that there's kind of a need.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to say that, Brian. I'm not going to say there's not a need because he could easily be involved in the Rebellion or the New Republic. Sorry, the New Republic.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Zeb, yes, though. The only reason why I think you probably didn't see him is because he was in Mando. Like, they're probably saving the meat of his stuff because we did just get to see him in Mando. And they're just going to save him or the next trailer or something.
They would not put him in Mando and then not put him in Ahsoka.
Well, they also wouldn't bring Hera and Chopper and everybody back and not bring him back.
Yeah, there's two. Zeb was easily the hardest character for them to probably bring back. And the fact that they did it in another show, he's 100% being a part of it.
Agreed.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's in the room
with Hera.
In this one.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if he's literally in the room for that.
Agreed.
Because if you look, I mean, you have what looks like, I would assume, a form of like resistance type pilot.
Well, no, that's a New Republic fighter. And that's exactly what Zeb is wearing, just a little bit more better.
Yeah. So, I mean,
yeah,
it makes sense. I would not be surprised if she's in charge of like the fleet that he's in.
It's very possible.
Something like that.
All right, let's go ahead and move on. We're going to step away from Ahsoka.
45 minutes on Ahsoka.
Well, she deserves it, okay? We didn't even talk about Ahsoka. You realize that?
I mean, we know what we're...
She's incredible!
Dude,
that's all needs to be said.
When she runs out the window and goes like this. Like,
I'll spend another 45 minutes just talking about her. I don't want to put you guys all through that.
You want to know what's funny is, for Sean, my casual friends, Star Wars friends, they don't know, like, they don't know anything about Ahsoka past when she showed up in Mando. They're super excited about her. They're like, dude, this chick's badass. And I'm like, you have no idea. Like,
Dylan has been texting me about it too.
Yeah.
So he's the same way.
It's kind of cool. Like, it's like now it kind of like piques that curiosity. And you're like, oh, maybe I should go look and see.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next big piece of news. The Rey Skywalker movie. The Rey Skywalker movie. Daisy Ridley is officially returning to Star Wars. This was the second biggest piece of news that dropped on Friday morning for us here on the West Coast regarding Star Wars Celebration. We're officially...
I am not surprised by this.
I'm not surprised, but I'm surprised it was announced this early, if I'm being honest.
To be completely honest, of all the things that was like surprise announcement type thing, this one was the least surprising to me for the fact of the second I saw them starting to like post pictures of like her at Lucasfilm. Like, remember when she put on Instagram?
I did a TikTok about it and it blew up.
Like that, to me, that was I immediately was like, she's coming back.
I'm with you, but I was not. I don't think I was like going in being like, oh, I expect Rey to be back. Like I honestly wasn't expecting them to announce it for a little while, like because it is so fresh.
It is.
She didn't leave that long ago, right? And the movies didn't end that long ago, but they obviously had to course correct on some things and change some plans and do some different things. And this is something to get people on board. And I love it. I mean, I think this is really, really good because people right now in Star Wars, we have the Bad Batch, right? We have the Bad Batch which is coming to an end next year with season 3. Love hearing that news, by the way. We can quickly cover that. That's fantastic.
You love hearing that it's ending?
No, that's getting another season.
Okay.
You're an ass today. But outside of Bad Batch, we have Mandalorian, we have Andor, we have Ahsoka. Like Ahsoka has lightsabers and stuff. I get it. But where's the meaty Jedi stuff, right? We don't have like in Star Wars right now, other than Cal, which isn't like hardcore Jedi stuff. We don't have the meaty of the Jedi. I'm not surprised by it because of that reason. We need something that is very classic Star Wars. Sure, meaty. We need something that's very classic Hugh, I swear, I'm going to like kick you out of the stream, dude. We need classic Star Wars in the fold with everything else. We need the Jedi. We need the Force. We need everything that comes with it as far as the dark side, in whatever form it may be. I don't know if it was like, in chat, correct me if I'm wrong, but if it was the official title, but Star Wars New Jedi Order is fantastic as a title. Fantastic as a title. I love the timeline they showed of every era. And they threw the Old Republic in there, which was great.
Hi, Chase.
Love it. What's up, Chase? I love this news so much because out of all of the things from the sequel trilogy, Rey was the only thing that I cared to see more of, if I'm being honest. She was the only thing I cared to see more of. I wanted to see where her story went. Like, I know where Poe's story probably went. New Republic. I know where Finn's story probably went. New Republic. Like,
you think?
I think. Honestly, Brian, and shame on me, I don't need Finn, Poe, or anybody else in this movie other than Rey. I want Rey and all new characters.
You don't think he's going to be a Jedi?
No.
Wally. I mean, I'm super excited for her to be back.
You know what got me the most excited, Brian? I'm sorry, but the yellow lightsaber.
Oh, I know.
That's what got me the most hype. The first thing that came to my mind was, we're seeing the yellow lightsaber. Yeah. That's all I care about.
It's going to be a common thing now.
Oh my God. Seeing that thing flick on and off is going to be epic, bro. Epic.
So here's my thoughts. I'm excited because I think that this could possibly be the first time where their villain is going to be someone that doesn't have like a lightsaber or something. Like I'm going to get... I think it's going to be very Nihil-esque, where it's which if it is, I'm all on. I don't think,
dude. Space Vikings? You kidding me?
Not them specifically.
I'm just giving you a hard time, like you've been giving me a hard time.
No, I meant it as like it doesn't need to be light side versus the dark side. Like you can have.
We've seen that a million times.
The High Republic has shown us You do not need light versus dark type, like Jedi versus Sith. You can have just as much of a scary threat from an alien race.
Yeah.
I've been saying for years that the Chiss need to try to like take over. I think that would be an incredible
Brian, what if Thrawn survives in 35 years, 45 years later, he shows up to fight Rey?
I hope that's part of me hopes that's what happens.
Like, no, come on, don't say that. No,
I honestly like. I would love to see. Like we've played out the Empire. Like we got it. Yeah, Empire.
I agree.
We had it. They came, fell, came back exactly the same.
I agree.
So if you're going to do that logic type of thing, I would like to see an alien race trying to be the ones that take over.
There's tons of them.
Exactly.
There's tons of them.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
Or
yes, John Booz, yes, exactly, something like that. But I'm just saying in general, like you can make a scary threat to the Jedi that is not the Sith. And
what if there's not even a like larger looming threat? What if it's like, of course there's going to be turmoil and speed bumps and like things that she has to go through as far as a character, but what if it really is about her battling her inner demons, first of all, because whether or not she's Rey Skywalker, she is a Palpatine, the looming threat of her turning to the dark side, but also the responsibility that she's now created for herself of this new Jedi Order, and whoever, because they said, and I'm paraphrasing here, but they said we're finding the Jedi in disarray. So,
well, there's literally one left.
Well, no, see, everyone keeps making this argument. We're picking up 15 years later. I guarantee you, there's more Jedi.
Oh, there's going to be by that point, but
she's saying the master with multiple people underneath her.
Oh, I know, and I'm saying like at the end of 9.
Oh, at the end of 9, yeah,
of course. She's one left, so she has to build this ginormous thing. Maybe we're gonna get Broom Boy. Like, wouldn't that be funny?
But he would be like 25 years old.
Broom Boy's like the number 2.
But we don't even know Broom Boy's name, do we?
Broom Boy.
But what was the raising? Hey, Broom Boy, come here! Like,
no, 100%. No.
Jesus Christ! I literally, if you were next to me, I would just throw a right hook to your face right now.
Oh, you'd probably.
He's Broom Man.
Yeah, he's like a Pokemon. He evolves. Man.
Oh, he does have a name, Tamiri Blog. Oh, okay, cool.
That was a Schmodown question.
No, I mean, I don't honestly, and of course they can do anything, but I don't necessarily need like a larger looming galaxy-wide threat.
No.
Like I would love to see, like, not in this sense, but this is like the closest comparison I can make at the moment, like a crosstown rival type of fight.
Oh, we're gonna have turf wars?
Like I don't necessarily know if it's a turf war, but like,
oh my god, give me
that
Jedi
scale, like you have like one group versus another, not like one fleet versus another fleet, you know? Uh-huh. Like just something on a little bit of a smaller scale where you're following
my temple cooler than your temple.
Sure. It's like, yeah, sure. Who knows? I mean, yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of possibilities, but yeah.
I think one of my biggest curiosities is where she's going to do it at. I swear to God, if she does it on Tatooine, I'm going to lose my shit.
No, I don't think it's going to be Tatooine. I think it's probably going to be either a brand new planet.
It'll be a brand new planet, yeah.
Or, and I don't know if this would work as far as what happened, but what if, and I know that it all burnt to the crisp, but what if she goes back to the planet Luke tried to start a Jedi Order on? The one we saw in Mando that ended up being burnt in Force Awakens.
I guess. I'm going to say no, though.
No, I agree. But so I'll ask this, okay? Let me ask this. In chat, would love for you guys to answer.
Do it on Hoth.
It will be Jakku. No.
Yeah. I could see it being on. I would visually, as I'm echoing, like the remnants of Maz Kanata's castle.
I was gonna say the planet in The Rise of Skywalker, where Leia passed. I'm forgetting the name of it off the top of my head. Please, chat, help me. But I wanted to
Asian
ask.
sauce?
Yes.
I win.
I wanted to ask this question in chat. Please answer. Do you think it's going to be at a temple, a former temple, or all brand new? Do you think she's going to find a temple from the past or create something completely brand new?
New.
Okay. I'm leaning a little bit more towards something that she finds. Because I think that she's going to kind of like, and we may not see it because we're picking up 15 years later. We take Coruscant, Brian Warren. I after the Rise of Skywalker, I got the vibe that she kind of went on like a Jedi excursion, right? Relics, information,
She went
trying to
on an
learn.
Eat, Pray, Love tour.
Sure. But I think that she kind of went searching for answers and searching for things that would help her become a Jedi, learn the ways of the Force, the history of the Jedi, because she has those books from Luke, right? So it kind of leads me down the path of her picking a former temple, somewhere that she kind of finds peace with, rather than trying to build something from the ground up. So, and there's millions or thousands of them across the galaxy, so who knows?
I think it'll be new.
This is fair. No big deal. All right, let's move on from Rey. Brian, what would you like to talk about next? Is there anything that we haven't talked about that you would like to talk about?
Thrawn.
We talked about Thrawn.
Oh.
Because, well, honestly...
Oh, yes.
Okay,
Mangold film.
Oh, yes. We can talk about Mangold and Filoni. But the Mangold film is a big one. It's something that a lot of people have been waiting for. And you heard the details about this, right? You heard what he said?
No, I brought it up because I just wanted to say
I'm just making sure.
Mangold's name.
25,000 years before anything we know in Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's the creation of the Jedi.
The Force, even.
The Force. You can say the Force. We are getting the origin story of Star Wars, essentially, from James Mangold. Dude, this dude is busy, by the way. Indy, Swamp Thing, Star Wars. Bro.
This man has a huge set of cojones to take this.
And I'm telling you, if he bangs out all three and he's 3 for 3, bro. My God.
Sorry, I have a huge set of cojones, and then you said bangs out all three. It's terrifying. I would be terrified if I was him to take this on. But he's literally just like, let's go there. Like, you're literally this is basically the beginning of Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I would be hard pressed to think that they could ever go further back than this, other than a generic story. Like, there's no need to ever go past the beginning of this story.
I agree. 25,000 years is a very long time.
It's the literal beginning of a timeline. It's the dot that starts the timeline.
Wild. I love that he said biblical epic, is what he said.
That
terminology.
Ben Hur, and what was the other one? I forget it was, but I was like,
that it's a perfect description of what I always kind of expected from this type of story. Just seeing, and just real quick, talking about James Mangold, he is easily one of my favorite filmmakers on the planet. Not just because of recent stuff, but he has made some incredible movies in the past. Copland, 310 to Yuma. I still consider The Wolverine fantastic, among many others. And then you throw in Logan, Ford v Ferrari, like upcoming Indiana Jones. I mean, the dude knows what he's doing. He's an incredible storyteller. He's willing to take on huge projects and do them very, very well. I'm so excited for him to dive into something this deep because, like he said when he talked about it, he has no strings attached to him.
No,
he can do whatever he wants. He has no issue with timelines, characters, connections, any of it. I'm super excited. I'm super, super excited. I think the guy's a great director, a great writer, great storyteller, and there are very few people that I would put above him to tell this type of story. So I think it's going to be awesome. I'm very excited for this one.
Yeah. So I found a picture of the timeline thing.
Yeah, the timeline's dope.
I love that they put the Old Republic on it, though. Just
Me
saying.
too. Me too. So right now, as far as live action goes, we have Fall of the Jedi, Reign of the Empire, Age of the Rebellion, The New Republic, First Order. We got official announcements for New Jedi Order and Dawn of the Jedi. The Acolyte will be in the High Republic. The only thing left is the Old Republic.
I know. I love how they're blue balling us with the
Oh,
Old
100% they
Republic.
are. 100%
Like,
they are.
the-
Which is
it's
okay. I would honestly rather them save that for a time like a TBD date.
It's kind of funny though, because it's kind of like I've almost kind of put it as the like, all right, if everything else fails, guys, let's just throw out the Old Republic. They'll eat that shit up. Like, but everything else, let's just try until we screw ourselves.
Yeah. No, super excited for this one. And then on the flip side, Brian, Dave Filoni's getting a live action film.
I mean, it only makes sense that he is
surprise, right? Like,
yeah, like anyone else it's almost an insult.
But it is very cool that the film he's getting is going to be wrapping up the Mandoverse. This storyline of the Mandoverse, anyway.
See, that doesn't surprise me at all, though.
No, that's what I just said. Yeah.
Yeah. Because to me, he is kind of wrapping up everything he's done to this point.
Mm-hmm.
Clone Wars, Rebels,
the death of Thrawn. Yeah.
You're an asshole. All these things.
Honestly, Brian, the death of Ahsoka, it's on the table. It's on the table. Because look, there's tricks and there's things that you can do and tons of timeline because of the 30 years, but we heard her in The Rise of Skywalker. So from what we know in Star Wars,
I forgot.
We know, only Jedi who have passed on to the next incarnation are able to do that. We don't know if other characters are like what the abilities of them are, but just taking from what we know currently, that means that Ahsoka does pass on to another form at some point. And if there's one person to tell her passing, it has to be Dave Filoni. It has to be Dave Filoni.
Yeah.
So we think of this, Brian.
I'm going to be more upset and cry when she dies than I am when.
Yeah, dude. But think of it. Our two favorite characters could bite the dust in the same movie.
When Luke died, I was like, oh.
Our two favorite characters could bite the dust in the same movie.
Part of me, as an asshole, just wants yours to bite it, so that way mine is.
Sorry, Ahsoka's not dying without Thrawn dying.
Well, so here's the thing that makes me most interested with this new Jedi Order is, could Ezra be in that?
Yeah, I think he will be. Oh, the Rey movie?
I mean,
he'd be very old.
He would be very old.
Yeah.
Really? What is from this time to where that would be? What would he be? Like 50?
From the end of Return of the Jedi to where this movie is set, it's 45 years later. 30 years
I guess,
to Force Awakens, and then 15 added on for the Rey film, plus maybe like a year or two in between. And then you add the 20 years, or like, let's say 10 years from when we last saw him. He's got to be pushing 60-ish, 70 maybe. He's old.
He'd be a master.
He'd be an old dude. I mean, he would be the same age as what we saw Luke, maybe a little older, but he would definitely be older. He'd be like Harrison Ford was in The Force Awakens. That's more of what I put it with. Harrison Ford in The Force Awakens is kind of what I see him with as far as age.
That's fair.
So, but I mean, it's possible. It just, and you could use the world between your worlds as an excuse. So who knows?
Well, see, that's my thing also is like you don't know if there was where did the Pearl take them? Like, did they age? Because he doesn't look like he aged really that much in the hologram.
Mm-hmm.
So
I would say he aged
maybe.
Well, it's about 10 years. So he's probably about 25, 28, 30.
That's fair.
Yeah, he's probably somewhere around there, I would guess.
Fair.
Yeah, so Dave Filoni film, James Mangold film, off of Star Wars, just because I put it in the thumbnail when I talk about it, Indiana Jones 5.
Oh.
Bomb-ass trailer. Speaking of James Mangold,
Yeah.
that trailer, it put the, like, I knew already, like, I already had this feeling, but it put the stamp on, like, yeah, this movie's going to be really good.
There's certain times when you just like see things and you're just like, you just know it's going to be good. Like, you just like, you know, it's going to hit your expectations. You know, it's going to do everything you want it to. I still to this day can't get over the fact that it looks like an old movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it looks like it literally is coming out after the last, not Crystal Skull, the last of the trilogies. Like, it literally looks like it.
The Last Crusade.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, it literally looks like it falls into that. It doesn't seem like, I don't know. At times, Crystal Skull kind of just didn't feel.
No, it has the cinematography of an older film.
Yeah, it like Crystal Skull, you definitely kind of get like the like, oh, look at all this new technology, like we're gonna use it. Whereas this is like, we're just gonna go classic, and it's just like,
I love it. I love it. I love everyone involved. I love the way it looks. I love the Nazi vibe that we're getting again. Mads looks great.
Oh yeah,
Phoebe Waller-Bridge looks great.
The de-aging looks incredible.
It does, and that's only on a freaking phone or a TV screen, for God's sakes. It looks incredible. It looks absolutely fantastic. Let's see. Talked about, and as far as stuff that was released publicly, I know there's a lot of like leaked footage out there. We're not really going to cover that, especially just because myself, I mean,
you can hit certain things of Acolyte.
Yeah, I mean, so we got Vernesta Rowe officially coming.
Wild.
Coming. She's in the Acolyte as an older character. She has grown. We're going to see that character in the Acolyte, which is super exciting.
Looks like Nebula.
They did release footage. It was only shown to the audience at Celebration. People online obviously can find leaked footage and whatnot, which I'm pretty sure Brian did. But
I saw like the first minute.
I think we've all been extremely excited for this show just because of how different it is and the possibilities it has. We get a Wookiee Jedi in there, which is played by Jonas. What's his name? Jonas. How do you say his last name? How do you say his last name, Brian? What is it?
I want to see you.
No, I'm missing. I'm missing.
So, come on.
I'm looking it up now.
Andy, Jake, I love the Nazi vibes of Perla. Pseudomo.
Is that how you say it? Pseudomo? Okay, Pseudomo. He gets to come back as a Wookiee Jedi. Played Chewie. Now he's wielding a lightsaber.
Not Burry.
Super, super cool. I love the way they're kind of, blending all of this together. Again, haven't seen publicly released footage, but we've heard nothing but incredible things. New logo. And Molly came back and said the Acolyte was probably her favorite thing that she saw. I'm hyped, man. And it was confirmed for next year. And I don't think they put an exact date, but I'm guessing the spring of next year is when they're probably going to drop it. Like the Mandalorian spot this year, we'll probably see Acolyte spring of next year. So
yeah, this show's going to just do amazing. Like, Star Wars is hitting on the TV show.
They're touching all the genres, which is cool.
Well, and they're freaking moving around. It's nice to not just be in one spot. Like, I like that they're moving to different eras. Like, we don't need the Skywalker saga. Like, we don't need it. And even Mando's not it is, but it isn't. Like you know it's in that timeline, but like
80% of the time it's not.
yeah, it's not really like in your face. Like when Luke was there, then it's like okay, yeah. But you just don't it's not in your face. That's the only way I could say it. Like Skywalker timeline. So it's kind of fun seeing things jump around. And we're in completely uncharted territory with the High Republic. Like we still don't know what the heck is going on in that world. I mean, who's alive, who's dead, who's missing, who's this, who's that. Like it's all. And Charles Soule seems to really be loving messing with people, Molly Damon included. Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm hyped. I'm very, very hyped. I think this is gonna be a really cool show. The creator, Leslie Headland, just chef's kiss on her.
Can we talk about? It was this show, right? That they said they pitched it, and it was a mix of Frozen and Kill Bill.
I think so. I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, I love that. It's wild. Wild.
The Frozen throws me off. Kill Bill gets me very excited.
Well, the Frozen Elsa having uncontrollable powers.
Oh, that makes sense then. I didn't think of it that way.
That's what I saw anyways. Elsa, the uncontrollable power aspect.
I was thinking singing princesses
and like remember in the first movie she's teetering between whether or not she's good or bad. Like her powers are obviously hurting people, etc. That's kind of the line. So all right, last thing we're gonna talk about, and again, we're probably gonna do this again next week. We want Jill and Molly here to do this. But the last question or last thing we'll talk about is
maybe we'll let Alex be on too.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll let him.
Yeah, we'll let him.
I actually would love to have Sean and Frank and listen to their nonsense.
Well, speaking of, YouTube has a new rating thing on the platform. So once we're done here, you'll be redirected to the Scoundrels. So hang on tight, guys. We're going to be over here just a little bit, but we'll be able to rate the Scoundrels show because they are live right now. Anyway, Gordon has a question here for us that will wrap up the show. Since they confirmed season 2 of the Jedi, what Jedi do you think they will cover? I'm super I was expecting this, and I think this show can run on forever. I'm so happy this is coming back.
This show, there's no reason to ever stop this show.
Agreed.
You can literally do that show ever. And
so
you can do spin-offs too. It doesn't not need to be Tales of the Jedi, Tales of the Bounty Hunters, Tales of the Sith, Tales of the Skywalker, and whatever you want to do. I cannot wait for this show.
If we keep in line the storyline of season 1, even though there were a ton of characters, it mainly focused on 2 characters.
Yes. 2
characters, 3 episodes each. So keeping in that as the characters of focus, there are 2. I would love Kit Fisto and Shaak Ti.
Shaak Ti, poor chick.
I want her story done justice, damn it. Whether it ends good or bad, I want her story done justice because that poor woman has never had a chance to have her story told.
Well, she needs to have a final death.
Yeah. I think Kit Fisto would be dope, though.
I would like to see the Grand Inquisitor. I would love to see the story of the fall. Give me the fall of the Jedi, Order 66, and him.
Don't need any more Order 66, bro.
I know, but I want to see the transition from Temple Guard to Grand Inquisitor. You can't tell me that would be a dope story to see.
I agree.
And it's ripe for animation. It's perfect for animation.
Get Jason Isaacs come back to voice the character.
Easily. I mean, I would, if I could pick anything, I think that's what I would pick.
That's a good pick.
It would just be, because you can get away with saying it's Tales of the Jedi, because he started out as a Jedi, and then Descent to the Dark, which kind of was Dooku's vibe in his story.
Well, no, it was Dooku's vibe.
No, I know, but I meant like as a comparison.
Plo Koon would be a cool one.
That's honestly that's who I was kind of thinking too.
Plo Koon would be super cool.
Although the only thing with that is my fear is that it would just be another way to connect to Ahsoka.
Yeah, maybe, but he
Kit
found
Fisto.
her. He wasn't her master. He just found her, which we've seen and we saw that. I don't know if we need to see that again.
I would love Kit Fisto would be one. Give me Coleman Trevor. I want to see the Dinosaur Jedi. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that'd be cool. I mean, I just want to see the characters that we saw in live action that never really got their due. You know, the Kit Fistos, the Shock T's, Ki-Adi-Mundi would be cool. We saw a lot of him though.
I don't like him. Sorry.
Ayla Secura would be cool.
Anyone that we got a like singular death in
Order 66.
Order 66 would make sense. Like
yeah, they were kind of the main characters that we saw the most of.
Yeah, if they got a scene being like this is a character that's like it makes sense. Who said it earlier would make sense also, but I feel
Quinlan
like that.
Voss.
Yeah, who said it? I want to give you credit.
It's Gordon. Gordon said Quinlan Voss.
Yeah, so Gordon saying Quinlan Voss. That one would make sense. Although I feel like that one would be give me Asajj Ventress.
That'd be interesting. Asajj would definitely be interesting.
The only thing that I would love Dark Disciples to be told, like, but at the same time, like, Tales of the Jedi, like, it's not very long. It would be like what?
They're anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, so it's
in 3 episodes each. So
if you had to ask me, would you rather have
maybe they're 20 minutes? That'd be 20 minutes.
Yeah. Well, if someone was going to say, would you rather have this or nothing? I'm obviously going to take that.
Asajj would be interesting just because it involves Dooku, and they already did the Dooku thing. I'm saying they have like the animation done for them.
Oh, I think you literally start her story the second she.
No, I'd want to see her picked up as a youngling and everything.
Oh, so you want to just go begin?
Remember the Ahsoka set was one as a child, one as a teen,
and then
one after Order 66.
That's fair.
So similar to that, but with Asajj, you know, kind of getting her whole Jedi life, if you will, over the span of 3 episodes, which would be very cool. I'd be all for that for sure. All right, I think that's gonna wrap the show up, guys. Do
you want to just like 5 seconds what you thought of Vision season 2?
It looks absolutely incredible.
The kids. So I showed the kids at work because anime is actually really popular right now. Well, it always has been, but at least at my school. At first, they were very thrown off by it because it was very much just pure Japanese anime. Season 1,
like the opening trailer. Oh, I got you.
Season 1. So like when I said, "Oh, Visions is back," like they got all excited, and then they saw it and was like, "What? Like, why are there like clay people and stuff like that?" Like, and once you kind of explain to them that it's like international, like all over their different styles, it was like, "Oh, I didn't know there was anything outside of Japanese anime," because I think like one of them's like South American or something, and it's kind of, I like that they're kind of.
I'm obsessed with the visuals.
Oh, God,
I'm absolutely obsessed with the visuals.
That first one with the
it looks like it very similar to what Kubo and the Two Strings did.
Yes, and that yellow lightsaber that has that like samurai hilt, like.
Well, yeah, but it later in the trailer we saw the yellow lightsaber and a red saber popped out from the end of it. It was double-sided. So that got me all super interesting. I think it looks fantastic. I think it looks great.
It's so cool because it doesn't connect to anything. They're just little short stories that someone thought of. That's what I like.
And what I love about it is it allows and this is the best thing about Star Wars, and we talk about this all the time, but it allows people to be creative inside the galaxy. They can tell whatever story they want, however they want to, with whatever characters and visuals they choose to do so.
Yeah.
And that's the best thing that Star Wars has for it. You can do what you want with whatever you want. And that's what these shorts are able to do. Like the TV shows and stuff are a different story, obviously, but they just like we're getting a pilot racer episode that brings back Wedge Antilles. Like they're able to do what they want, how they want to, and I think that's what makes it so special. They're also short watches, and so it makes it that much more fun. You can literally binge it in a day if you want to. You bet your ass we're gonna be talking about it here on this channel when it drops.
I mean, honestly,
Yeah, super excited for it.
the ninth Jedi one, where they all, I don't want to spoil it for anyone that has, but that episode might have been one of the coolest Star Wars stories I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like that story is so cool, and it's like perfect little like here's a dope story. Didn't need to be a whole long movie, didn't need to be a whole series, whatever. This little short 25 minutes, and it's incredible. So I'm very, very excited. Some of them I have no problem admitting I didn't really care for some of them, but it doesn't mean that they're any less cool than other people. And I mean, the duel, the very first one,
the duel was great.
Oh my
duel
god,
was great.
So yeah, I'm excited, and it's not that far away. It's less than a month away.
I agree. All right, that's gonna wrap it up, everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. Again, we'll probably be back next week to do it all over again. And hopefully the girls are with us. So Brian,
hopefully they get off their lazy asses and join us one of these times.
Brian, before we get out of here, let the good people know where they can find you online.
Be a Balsino, Twitter and Instagram, and Apocalypse Movies with this guy. We're probably doing this again tomorrow.
Sure are.
So yeah, if you're not sick of talking Star Wars, we're gonna do it all again tomorrow. So a hi bear.
And on Wednesday, because we'll be reviewing episode 7 of The Mandalorian season 3 on Wednesday.
Can I say I'm probably jinxing it, knock on wood. The fact that they showed the episode and I haven't heard a peep about it, I'm impressed.
Everyone says it's incredible.
Yeah.
We will have, so that's our show on Wednesday, The Fandalorian Club, 6 o'clock Pacific over on Apocalypse Movies. Mr. PJ Campbell will be with us this week. Super excited to have PJ with us for the penultimate episode of The Mandalorian. At Qui-Gon Jake, Twitter, TikTok, 2 ends, because someone else took it before I did. POV Live is every Monday evening at 6. Patreon schedule went out today, so patrons, make sure you guys check that out. Lots of cool things coming. And then there's something new coming on the channel very, very soon. We're working on it, getting the deets all figured out, and you guys will see that very, very soon as Thrawn makes one last appearance before we get out of here. Appreciate you guys. The Scoundrels Inc. is over. They're live right now. Frank and Sean are over talking the same things we just did. They're live over on the channel, so make sure
when you go over there, say we're only here because of POV.
Yeah, we are redirecting you guys over there, and thank you guys so much for joining us as always. We'll catch you guys next week. Bye, guys.